start the recording so that way we do have something to reference later on. And let me stop this real quick. So that way we can go ahead and focus in on what we're talking about today. So first off, before we get started, I definitely want to thank everybody for hopping on. I know it's the middle of the day, but I think this is a good time for us to meet daily, just so that way we can kind of like brief in on how our day has been going so far, and also create a plan for how we're going to finish the night off strong. So it's a good time of the day to meet. Definitely going to be doing this every single day. And so today, really what I want to talk about first is just magnetic leadership. I kind of want to open this call today up for more so us brainstorming some ideas, as well as, reviewing some things that we already know, but pretty much I kind of want to talk about my magnetic leadership today, because I definitely think that that is something that we need to really focus on with our group. Now, when I say magnetic leadership, I mean the type of leadership that actually attracts people to you, and also it attracts other leaders to you. Now, the reason why you want to attract other leaders to you is because you want to have a strong organization. You want to have an organization of people who are self-sufficient, they are independent, and also problem solvers. So you definitely want to be the type of leader that attracts those type of people. So you have to do some things within yourself in order to make that work. So, all of us, we're all developing. All of us can go harder. All of us can do better. And so it's just best that we start to hold each other accountable for these things, and also hold ourselves on a personal level accountable for these things. Now, I don't know if you guys heard the affirmations that I was playing in the beginning, but the one affirmation that really stands out to me is the more people I add value to, the more money I make. And definitely that's another part of magnetic leadership. We want to make sure that we're adding value not only to our clients, but also to the business partners that we bring on. So in order to do that, we're going to have to really dive deep into some personal development. That's something that we say all the time on all the trainings. All the top leaders say it. All of the leaders within our organization says it. And of course, in Waymakers, we always talk about that too. So really, really, really want us to key in on that. Now, real quick, I want to ask a question. Who listened to the entire version of Making the Shift? I want you guys to be honest. There's no right or wrong answer. I really want to know who's ever listened to Making the Shift. That's the 1 hour audio book that I share in a group a lot. If you've listened to it in its entirety, drop a 1 in the chat, or you can say me. That's fine too. Okay, good. Okay. Okay. All right. So some of us listen to it. Some of us are halfway through. That's not an issue. Definitely want to finish it up at some point this week. Also, if you listen to it and it might have been a while ago, you want to definitely brush up on it as well. Now, if it was recent, then you definitely can see exactly why I recommend this book. I'm sure there's a lot of really good key points that we need to hear as network marketers. A lot of us really need to create that shift in our lives so that way we can fit this business into our daily schedule, and then also, again, develop that magnetic leadership that's going to attract people to us. So that's a really, really, really good audio book. I definitely highly suggest listening to it again. It's only an hour long. You can listen to it repeatedly. Like, I might listen to it 1 month, and I may take maybe 3 months off, and then like once I feel like, okay, I need to listen to Making the Shift again, I'll bring it back out and I'll just listen to it again. So definitely don't feel like that is an issue. Now, I also want you guys to encourage your agents to listen to it. Now, some of us have agents who are actually working. So those agents who actually got into the business because they are working and they really wanted to get into it, definitely put them on Making a Shift, because it's going to really help them. For me, my personal story with Making the Shift. The reason why I like it so much is it helped me kind of realize that this industry is totally different than anything I ever dealt with before. I'm used to being in leadership positions, of course, being a teacher. And I kind of had like leadership qualities growing up. So I always was like the captain of something or the coach of something or whatever. So I'm used to leadership skills. And so when I came here, I thought that certain things were supposed to be a certain way. And I was critiquing things and I'm like, not realizing that this is a totally different industry than anything that you've ever dealt with. So you gotta kind of unlearn everything that you thought about leadership and about your abilities and kind of adapt to this new world. So it's real good to put your people on, especially if you have agents under you who are used to being leaders. They might, be very professional. They might already be entrepreneurs. They might be into real estate, what have you. And they probably need to get a little bit of humble pie mixed in with a little bit of education on how the industry works. So this book is perfect for that. It's perfect. It's this first 7 days in network marketing. Everybody should put your new agents onto it. Okay. So yeah, I definitely want to write that in your notes. Now, another book that I want to suggest just for you guys is Building an Empire. This is a really good book. It's about network marketing and it's specifically about how to build your team. Both of these are audiobooks. Making the Shift is only an hour, but I believe Building an Empire is about 6. So it might take you a little while. But you can listen to it like at night or maybe in the morning. I don't know what your schedule is like. But whenever you know for sure you have a moment of like solitude, this one you're going to really want to take notes on. So I would listen to it and have a notepad at the same time. I had to stop and rewind some things and, things like that because it's really good. It goes really in depth on how you should manage your team and also how you should think about leadership in this field. So specifically for network marketing. Now, another thing too with building an empire, once you start building, your leaders in your organization, definitely put them onto it too, because they're, everything is duplicatable, so everything can be passed down. But initially, just put them on Making a Shift. It's going to really help them. Also, trainings. You really want to put them on trainings. I know we have the Monday night trainings, and we also have Sunday night calls. Now, I know it seems like a whole lot of calls and a whole lot of training, but you got to think about this. The more you are knowledgeable about your business, the more you are able to be independent. And then that's magnetic leadership. If you're independent and you're a leader, you're positioning yourself to be someone who is like always aware of things, you're going to attract people who are just like that. And again, that goes into having a strong organization. So definitely, as a team, we want to make sure that we're plugged into trainers all the time. Oh, I forgot to talk about this, Super Saturdays. Oops. Super Saturday trainings. These only happen once a month, the Super Saturdays. And I definitely highly suggest everybody getting on. Reason being, and I'm going to tell you guys the truth about the Super Saturdays. You guys, they have Super Saturdays in Atlanta, and I believe Florida every single Saturday. They're in-person meetings. The meetings are usually about $40. You do have to pay as an agent, not because, they're trying to, make you pay for so much stuff, but the money does go towards paying off the venue. And the venue is always at a ballroom of a hotel. So, as a team, that's what we do. We pitch in to pay for the venue, but whatever. We go to these trainings and they're really, really upscale trainings, really in depth. All the leaders that train on the Super Saturdays online, they actually train on those Super Saturdays that are in Atlanta and in Florida. Now, personally, I traveled to a Super Saturday before in Atlanta because of how much information that you get. They really do help you kind of curve it kind of shortens your learning curve. So definitely take advantage of the fact that they're online and free right now, because there's people paying hundreds of dollars to get to Super Saturdays. Like my sister and I, we flew to Atlanta. We didn't have to get a hotel room, thank God, because we were able to stay with one of our friends, Brandy. But we met Andrea. We went to the Super Saturday with Andrea and Brandy and Adrian, and it was literally all day. And it was good. They fed us there, so they're usually a big thing. So don't take this lightly. Like when these trainers are training on these Super Saturdays online, understand that they're used to something much bigger, but they're still pouring into the team. So, definitely take all the knowledge that they give you on the Super Saturdays. I know they're long, but just prepare for them. So, I'll promote the next Super Saturday as soon as I found out when it is. So that way you can tell your entire downline about the importance of it, that they're going to want to save that date. Also, as a leader, you got to stay active in the group chat. I know a lot of us are busy throughout the day, so you're not always going to be able to respond in the group chat. Like realistically, you're not. But whenever you can, do. And the reason why I say that is because you got to keep a certain momentum going in the group chat in order for it to be buy-in, and then also your agents need to see you participating, because if they see you participating, then they're more inclined to participate. Now, it's not going to be a guarantee that they're going to participate, because it does depend on whoever your agent is and what their skill set, not skill set, their work ethic is. But, it's usually if you set the example, if you set the tone, then other people who are under you, they're going to follow through too. Also, when you're bringing new agents in, you want to really emphasize the importance of the group chat. Let them know that, like, it's literally like a work email. Like if you were at work and, you had to keep checking your emails to know what updates or, what things were going on, it's the same thing. All right. It's just a little bit more fun, a little bit more informal, but it's a lot of good information in the chat. So definitely, you want to make sure that you're staying active in the group chats and you're encouraging your downline to stay active in the group chats as well. Some people just aren't. Like if you're dealing with an agent that you signed up that is ghosting you, they're kind of like halfway trying, you know what I mean? Don't expect them to be super active, but definitely still set the tone, still set the example, because you're a leader. So you want to get used to that. But yeah, so that's that. So especially, and I'm gonna tell you the really important times when it's time to get active in the group chats. When we're on trainings, for one, when we give a task for the day or a challenge or a contest, anything of that nature, definitely want to be active at that point, because it's kind of gonna just be like, it's gonna be magnetic. Everybody's gonna, if everybody's in the group is on one accord, more people are going to be attracted to being on that same accord. So we got to just make sure that we're staying active in the chat. All right, so that's the theme, magnetic leadership. We got to keep these things in the forefront. Trainings, active in the group chats, personal development. Now, along with that, we got to think about our goals. So real quick, I want everybody to drop their goals in the chat so I can see what we are striving for by the end of the volume month. The last day of the volume month is October 17th. So what title will you be on October 17th? Let me start off. I'm going for ESD. I missed it last month by a couple thousand. I was so sad. I'm going for ESD. I'm hitting it. But I'm also going for VP too, because if that can happen, that can happen. So I'm running for EP, but if I get ESD, I'll be good. Katera is SD. Jordan is SD. Yes. I actually think you two can go RSD, but SD is good. Let's hit that goal first. Rejoice, SD, Rejoice. Vicky, SD. You said senior field trainer. We doing SD, Vicky. Brandy, SD. Yes. Okay. All right. So if you're in the leaders group, SD. If you're in the leaders group, push for SD. Sometimes, once it comes down to the end, you got to do what you got to do. But we're in the beginning, so we all pushing for SD. We're not even trying to settle. SD. All right. So the team goal. Let's say the team goal is sales director and above. Oopsies, I didn't want that to be highlighted. Let me read this line out real quick. All right, so we're going for sales director plus. All right, so for sales director, you need 3 field trainers plus 100, I mean, not 100,000, 10,000 in volume. Okay, so 3 field trainers, 10,000 in volume. Really what that translates to is 12 agents and 26 clients. So it's doable. If you break this down, this can happen in a week. This can happen in a day. It depends on how many people you're trying to talk to and how much you're willing to dig into your contacts. But if we were to break this down, let's see how many days of the volume month we have left. We're not going to count this day. Let me get my calendar up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So we have 19 days. If we get 2 clients a day, we can supersede that goal. And if we get 1 agent per day, we can surpass that goal. So 2 clients, 1 agent, that's the daily goal. Is everybody okay with that daily goal? 2 clients, 1 agent? If you're okay, drop a 1 in the chat. Yeah. So we had 2 clients a day. Seven days a week. That's 14 clients. We only need 26 to hit SD. 14 clients in a week will be good. So if we can get that this week, that'll be great. Because then the next 2 weeks, it's not so much pressure. It's no crunch time. So two clients, 1 agent a day. That's what we're striving for. That's going to help us surpass field trainers. So that's the team goal. All right. And we already did the title requirements. So let me just, oopsies. Put that there. Okay. Okay. All right, so that's the team goal, 2 clients, 1 agent. That's what everybody's striving for in a leadership group. Now, the next thing we got to do is talk about building momentum. Now, you're definitely going to want to post on your timeline. There is a social media schedule that we shared before in the groups. Definitely want to try to model your posting schedule off of that social media schedule. I believe the first thing is to do something motivational. It could be creative. Then I believe the second thing is a call to action for clients. I believe the third thing is a call to action for agents. Or is it? No, it's the engagement. It's engagement. Then the fourth thing is a call to action for agents. And then the fifth thing is some type of lifestyle video. So you definitely want to, in your mind, come up with a social media posting schedule and stick to it. And you want to make sure that that's on your timeline. You want to at least do 2 call to actions per day, 1 for client, 1 for agent. So that's going to help your page be varied. It's going to help you not get into the habit of just saying credit all day. So definitely want to come up with a social media schedule for yourself. The next thing you want to do is make sure that you post in your story. Now, a good tip for posting in your story is you want to do this at midnight. Reason why? Because people will see your story longer if it's on your story from midnight to midnight. So definitely want to do that at midnight. It's a good idea. Do it at night or as close to midnight as possible. If you don't stay up late, that's fine. Whatever your bedtime is, do it before you go to sleep. And then that's a good way of staying consistent. You know, all right, before I go to sleep, I'm gonna do this story. So that way you know for sure every day you have a story. Because I know sometimes myself, I have forgotten to do a story. And I woke up the next day and there was no story. And then once you post your story at like 9 a.m., it's okay. But a lot of people check social media in the wee hours of the morning. So you want to kind of like have your new stuff available at all times. So posting at midnight is a good idea. Now, doing live videos, I would incorporate this. Am I spelling that wrong? Oh, no. Yep, I am. Incorporate this into the social media schedule. So like how they say be creative in the morning, maybe you can do your live video first thing in the morning. And it could be a motivational video, or it could be a video that you do for credit repair. Or instead of posting a call to action for credit repair on the next slot, you'll do a credit repair video where you give them a tip. You know what I mean? So definitely want to include live videos somewhere. You can even do them at nighttime, where they say show your lifestyle, do a live video at night. But I think as a team and as leaders, if we start doing more live videos, for one, it's going to help with the magnetic leadership, because it's going to be attracting more people to us. And then two, it's going to help your downline, because they're going to be inspired to do it too. They'll see that as another way of getting leads, which it really is. Also, everybody who's been saying, oh, yeah, this is a scam, once they see you going on live, they see your personality, they see your mission, they see, certain points that you make, you start to gain credibility, and people may stop saying that as often. Also, asking for shout outs. That's a good thing to do at night too. At night. So you want to make sure you do that at night. And it's a good thing to ask 100 people for shout outs every night. If you ask 100 people for shout outs every night, you may wake up to 20 people who say yes. And out of 20 people who say yes, 12 of them may actually post it. And out of the 12 that actually post, you might get 3 that got 50 plus comments on there. You got some that never get a lot of comments on there, but some of them pop. And so you want to make sure that you're increasing your chances of, closing. Now, the next thing I want to kind of get people's feedback on for conversation starters. I know I shared a conversation starter in the group the other night. Let me go back and see what it said too. It was a good one. One second. Conversation starter. Oh man. Okay. Here it is. So the conversation was, I hope you had an awesome weekend. Something I learned today is we have 3 months until 2020. What are your goals before the end of the year, and how can I help? Man, if you sent this today to 100 people, imagine how many conversations you would start. Now, with the conversation starters, you don't have to do 100 people a day. One thing I would say for conversation start, one thing I would say for conversation starters is you want to do at least 25 per day. And when you start these conversations, you want to start your conversations with people that look like they got it going on. So people who have something to do or something, to say. So can anybody unmute their line and let me know a good conversation starter that you have used in the past, or one that you have been using recently?
I usually ask what they're thankful for that day or for that week.
Say it again. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Yeah, I had my mask on. I'm still kind of at work. I was saying, I usually ask them what they're thankful for.
Okay. All right. And how can that lead into talking about the credit or the opportunity?
Because you have some that'll say that they're thankful for being able just to have a roof over their head, and then you'll have some that'll say they're thankful for the fact that they're starting to, look for a place of their own, and they're looking for help. And then I'll just DM them.
Oh, you're talking about like a post that you put on your timeline?
Yeah, I'll put it on my
Oh,
timeline or in my store. I'll put it on my timeline, and then every once in a while, I'll put it on my stories. Every once in a while, I'll throw it on my Instagram, and then I'll just DM them
oh,
and go
that's
into it a
good.
little further.
I see what you're saying. That's a good engagement post. That's a good engagement post. And that is good. You definitely, a lot of people sleep on that. You definitely can use engagement posts as a way to segue into a conversation in the DM. But I should have probably been a little more specific. Sorry about that. When I say conversation starter, I kind of mean like, say if you were to cold message somebody through private message, like how would you start a conversation with somebody that you didn't know that way? But that was a good tidbit, Miss Nikki. Thank you for sharing that. Did anybody have a like a private message conversation starter? Okay, it's fine. It'll come to you probably because I'm pretty sure that we've used some. Like for instance, I know a lot of people may be familiar with the realtor script. That's a good conversation starter. Hey, I see you're a realtor. Blah blah blah. What kind of do you come in contact with qualified buyers? I forgot how it goes, but I know everybody used that one. If you use that one, put a one in the chat for me real quick. Oh, I just see what Miss Nikki said. That's a good point, and I'm gonna talk about that real quick. Good point. Okay, cool. So y'all know that one. All right, what about this one? Hey, quick question. Who do you know that can benefit from a credit score increase of anywhere to 100 to 200 points and make money at the same time? Anybody ever use that one? If you use that one, drop a 2 in the chat. Never used that one before. I might be saying it wrong. Let me give you another example of one. Um, y'all never used the quick question one? No? All right, that's a good one. People respond to that one. There was another one that was out, but it says something about COVID. So I don't think we should share that one because I don't know if it's in compliance. But it's a couple of them out. I'm gonna try to find some conversation starters and I'll share them in the group with us, okay? And if you guys can think of any good conversation starters, I definitely think that you should share it. Now, with the conversation starters, you definitely want to make it you want to make whatever question or whatever statement you say something that is going to help you identify how to market the services or opportunity to them. So like for instance, I could say something like this. um, Hey, I see that you're a single mom. I know there's a lot going on with virtual learning, and I know it's probably hectic balancing your schedule. Have you ever thought about working from home? Like that's something you can say as a conversation starter. And somebody might be like, yeah, like, I need to do that because it's been so hard. Da, 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 da. Okay, well, what do you currently do for a living? And then, they'll tell you, all right, cool, cool. Well, I have something that actually allows you to build your own schedule. Is that something that's is going to be useful for you right now, building your own schedule? Yeah, it's gonna be useful for me. Oh, okay, cool, cool. Well, listen, what I'm doing right now, not only are you gonna be able to build your own schedule, but you can also get your credit repaired too. Anything like that that kind of leads more so into a conversation that you can that leads to an exposure that's good. So you really want to be strategic. And if anybody thinks of any good conversation starters, definitely share them in the Leaders of Waymakers group. Don't share them in the Waymakers group because we want to make sure that it's duplicatable first before we share it to everybody else. We can just share it in our group first so that way we can see, like, get some ideas of what's some good ones that we can use. So definitely would like everybody's input for that. If you're okay with that, if you're ready to, think of one or add one to the group, definitely drop some flames real quick so I can see who's going to be interacting with us. Good. Okay. Cool. Got some people interaction. So yeah, the conversation starters are good because this is where recruiting really comes into play. You're trying to look for people. You're trying to look for people who have something going on. All right. And it's always a good way to do a good thing to do a conversation starter. Make it natural, make it relatable, and make it something that again is going to lead you directly to a conversation about the services. Now, Ms. Nikki earlier, she put it in a group chat. She said for private message, she would comment on their outfit that they posted or, you know, something like that, giving them a compliment. That's a good way of starting a conversation. Now, the one thing that you want to do is after the compliment, you want to also follow up with something called form. So I'm about to put that in there. Oh, I can't spell y'all. Compliment plus form. I'm gonna put this in here so that way we can kind of all get familiar with this because this is another way of holding a conversation with somebody or starting a conversation with somebody online. So yeah, you give them a compliment. It might be something about their outfit in their profile picture, or they might have just dropped a new picture and it's dope, and you want to say, "Dang, that picture was everything, girl. You look good." You know, whatever you want to say. They might have just started a new business. Oh my goodness, congratulations on starting your business. They might have just got a new job. Congratulations on your. So whatever, anything that you can find to compliment somebody who looks credible enough to be an agent on your team, compliment them first. That's a great way to start the conversation in private message. Then the next thing you want to do is follow up with form. Now, form is just a short series of questions that you can use to kind of like guide yourself into a conversation. So the first question would have to be either about their family or where they're from. That's what the first thing stands for. That's what the F stands for. Ask them about their family or ask them where they're from. It depends on whichever one is more natural for you at the time, right? The second one you want to ask is occupation. Always ask that. Ask them what they do for a living. All right, they'll probably tell you a little bit more just based off that question. A lot of people, oh yeah, right now I'm a teacher, but man, I'm trying to quit. I can't stand that daggone job. Them kids get on my nerves. They'll tell you even more stuff, and that's just you gathering. You just be a listener. You just gather whatever information that they're telling you. Everything's going to lead you for a close. The third thing is ask them what they do for recreation, what they do in their free time. You got to figure out a creative way of saying that. All right, well, what you like to do for fun? Well, when you're not working, what do you do? You know what I mean? Something like that. So that way it's kind of natural that you don't want them to feel like they're being interviewed, you know, and you also want to, in between the questions, relate to things that they're saying as well. So that way they can get to know you too. Build a rapport. Make sense? And then the last thing is your message. That's the most important thing. So once you have that conversation, you'll have a lot of information gathered from that person just based off of knowing about their family, how many kids they have, you know, their ages, knowing about what they do for a living, know about what they do in their free time with their family and what they want to do on their free time. Because sometimes when you ask number 3, they won't even tell you what they're doing. They'll tell you what they want to do. And then number 4 can be your message. Now, if you're talking about aging, what you want to do is just say, well, I got something that you can do on the side. If you want to do it full time, you can choose to, but you pretty much build your own schedule and the compensation is real good. You have about 9 minutes to look at a short video. Boom, exposure right there. If you're talking about credit, if this is somebody that maybe the conversation is more so they need help with their finances or they need help with their credit. Oh, well, look, I have something that's going to help you with your budget. I know you said that, you know, you have 5 children. It's hard for you to manage a budget. We got a budgeting system and I can help you with your credit. You have about, well, you don't have to ask them how much time they have. Just send them your website and then ask them when can you set up a call with them. Set up a free consultation with them. Boom. Easy way of getting people engaged in a conversation with you. So you want to start 25 conversations a day. If you do 25 conversations a day, 5 days a week, let's act like this is a regular work schedule. So 5 days a week, that is 125 people that you didn't talk to this week and potentially expose the agent opportunity to. It's not hard to do. So definitely want to use conversation starters. Use conversation starters, 25 per day. All right, put people on trial runs. For trial runs, let's do 10 per day. You don't need to have a whole lot of trial runs going on. If you have trial runs going on, create the urgency right away. The moment when you start having too many trial runs go on at one time, you can't keep track of them, and then you don't create the urgency with them, and then you lose them. So keep it strategic. Do about 10 per day. Also, you want to put people on trial runs who have already been exposed to information. So they may have already got a three-way call. They may have already got on the webinar. Or maybe you're using an advanced script that sets up the trial run before the call. That's cool. It's still an exposure because they saw the Ajay Hungo video first. So you want to make sure they go through a process of knowing the information before you just put them on a trial run. And build a rapport before a trial run. You can do somebody that you did a conversation start on. You can put them on a trial run. Somebody that commented on your live video, maybe you can put them on a trial run, something like that. Trial runs are good, but stick to about 10 per day. That's a good number to manage, and it also is going to give you a lot of people. Because again, 10 times 5, that's 50. So you imagine you have 50 trial runs a week, someone's bound to get started as an agent. So these aren't unreasonable numbers. Invite to the webinar. I want to say, let's say you get 10 confirmed. Let's range it, because you might want to get more. Anywhere from 10 to 30 people confirmed. Reason why I say you might want to get more confirmed is because confirmed and showing up are two different things. So you may want to increase your number of confirmations so that you can get 10 people to show up for sure. Get what I'm saying? So anywhere from 10 to 30 confirmed, that's definitely a good daily goal. And then posting in groups. You can do this at night too. And do 10. Just target them. Target them. Like you want to make sure that you do real estate groups, work from home groups, parenting groups, single mom groups, tax well, there ain't really that many. Well, let me not say that because I don't know. It may be some groups out there for tax professionals, car salesmen, even the if you have like local trade or buy and sell or thrift groups in your area, definitely add yourself to them too, because that's a good way of getting your name out there. So posting in groups, it's another good way of building momentum. So these things are pretty easy. I think if we make these a part of our daily DMO, we should be good. With your shout outs, I'm gonna say ask 50 to 100 people. Because one thing I do know about shout outs is once those shout outs start getting a lot of comments, it can get hectic. So you want to ask 50 to 100 people, but you want to get 10 posted. Same thing as the trial runs, get 10 posted. All right. So to build momentum, we're going to post on our timeline using a social media schedule, post in the story at nighttime, do live videos. Some point of our social media schedule, we got to incorporate a live video in there. Ask people for shout outs at night. You want to ask anywhere from 50 to 100 people, and you want to get at least 10 posted. You want to use conversation starters. Start 25 conversations a day. Look for people who have something going on. You want to qualify your people that you're talking to. You can use the formula that me and Ms. Nikki just mentioned, which was compliment them and use form. Also, we can put people on trial runs. You want to do 10 per day. Invite people to webinars, 10 to 20 confirmed per day, posting in groups. You can do that at night too, 10 groups. All right. So if everybody's good with that DMO, definitely drop some ones in the chat. I want to see who's all good with that. Good. Miss Nikki's good. Brandy's good. It's real doable. It's really doable. It's really doable. If we stick to this goal Man, we're gonna hit these titles by default. And not only are we gonna hit the titles by default, but the weekly commission is gonna be great. 2 clients a day, 1 agent, that's anywhere from $300 to $400 a day, depending on what your title is. Once you hit sales director, baby, you're gonna get $380 for each agent that you bring on. So not only are we gonna hit these titles, but the commissions are gonna be great. And so I definitely think we can do that. I'm glad that everybody's on board. Now, one thing we do need to focus on more as leaders is duplication. We got to focus on duplication. I think that that's something that every organization struggles with, to be honest. But the stronger organizations are the ones who are better at it. Like Xavier Morano, you know how many leaders he has on his team. That's because they have strong duplication on their team. I'm pretty sure they have people that don't duplicate. I'm pretty sure they have people that fall off. But for the most part, their people are sticking and staying because of the duplication and the fact that they're actually getting paid. So we got to really, really, really make sure that we're doing the same thing. Alyssa Barnes, Alfred Nixon, they all have people that are duplicating. Ajay Hongo, Amina Rashad, all of them. Strong teams. So as a team, of course, I want my team to duplicate, but you got to think about yourself in that position as well, because pretty soon you're going to be right there too. And you're going to have a team of people that you're leading. So you got to think about it too. Like you want to be on their status to where people in your organization are actually duplicating and getting results. Another reason why duplication is important is because with the industry we're in, people are quick to say that this is a scam. So if we're not delivering and offering results to our people, then it makes it easier for them to say that. But if we're actually giving them results, they can't say that because they see that we do produce results. So you want to launch your agents within 24 to 48 hours. Launching is tricky. I don't want anybody to ever think that you can learn how to launch an agent overnight. Even if somebody teaches you how to launch an agent, it's always going to be certain things that you learn about your journey, like throughout your journey, that's going to make you say, oh, let me focus on this throughout the launch process too. So the general basic thing to launch agents is the launch document as well as feslaunch.com. If you put your agents on feslaunch.com right away, have them activate their services, of course, watch those videos, download the apps, and then you use the launch document that's in the back office, you have done your job. So it's really simple. I don't want anybody to overthink the launch process, but I also want you throughout your journey to think about how you can make the launch process even more effective. Like one thing my sister does that I learned this from her. She'll take that memory jogger out, right? Like she'll launch them using the whole entire, launch document and everything. But when it's time for them to create their list, she won't just tell them to create the list. She'll take that memory jogger out right then and there, and she'll create the first 25 people with them. She'll brainstorm those people with them. After 25 people, then she say, all right, now you give me another 25. Boom. So by the time they're finished their Zoom, they already got 50 people on the list. So definitely, that's a good thing to implement during your launch process. Another thing is teaching them how to invite to credit and financial freedom breakthrough. That's a good thing to do. Because you can tell them to invite all of their friends on their friends list to do it that day, and it's automatically feeding them information. So, launch processes are different. You're going to grow as you grow as a leader. You're going to launch differently. But the one thing you want to do is make sure that the tools you're using is duplicatable. So feslaunch.com, those 3 videos, and then the getting started document that's in the back office. For launching them on the Zoom conference. You got to launch them on Zoom. If you launch them over the phone, it's not going to be effective because they're going to want to see everything. So definitely every leader should have Zoom in here. You should have your own Zoom account. And you want to be launching your agents, again, within 24 to 48 hours. Everybody good with that? If you're good with that, drop a 1 for me real quick. Launching is so important. So important. And if you have someone that's trying to give you the runaround for the launch process, you got to be bold with them. Let them know, listen, do you want to make this money back? Because if so, we had to get you launched and get you started, because 9 times out of 10, if you don't get launched, you're not going to ever get your money back. Flat out. They'll be like, all right, okay, I'm going to go ahead and get launched. So get them launched right away. After the launch, give them activities. Like I said, the activity that Amira does with the memory jogger, great activity. The activity of pretty much showing them how to invite to the group, great activity. The next activity, once they have their list created, of course, you want to get them invited to the webinar using that webinar invite script. Another activity you want to put them on is the PS3 system. Sharing information, peaking interest, sharing information, and then the 3-way call. So if you get your agents on those activities right away, also asking for shout outs, you're going to start seeing production and they're going to start closing out deals. So launch them, give them activities right away. Also, you want to plug them into the system. When I say that, I mean group chats, which would be, of course, Waymakers and Credit Bosses. Oops. All right. Also, groups that you should add them to, the Facebook groups will be the Alliance and Credit Boss Team Training. There are other groups, but these are the most important groups. And we have been discussing adding people to less groups recently because we don't want people to get overwhelmed. So I believe that these are the best groups to add. Okay, Andrea said the same thing. So pretty much group chats would be Waymakers plus Credit Bosses, and then the groups that we add our agents to will be Alliance plus Credit Boss Team Training. Oh, also you want to make sure that they're in the Credit and Financial Freedom Breakthrough. And make sure that they know that they can add people to that too. All right. Another thing with duplication, of course, you want to set the example. So if you stick to this daily DMO, don't tell your agents to do all this. This is just what you do. You give your agents small activities. Because if you tell your agents to do all this up front, they're going to be like, what the what? We know what we're doing, so we can do this. But for them, you got to give them activities, right? But for yourself, you want to set the example. So they should see you posting. They should see you going live. And I'm doing my live video today. Don't worry. I was supposed to do it before, but before this session, but I ran out of time. So I'm doing it directly after the session. So you want to set the examples. Let them see you posting. Let them see you going live. Let them see you getting enrollments. That's huge. Let them see you asking for boosts. Boosts on shout outs and trial runs. Let them see you work, because if they see you work, then they're going to work too. If they see you working, they're going to work too. So definitely set the example, stay interactive, all of that. All right. Also, check in on them. All right. You want to call them directly. You may want to text them directly. Check in on your downline. I'm going to say, I said 2 to 3 times weekly, but that's a bit much. I think 1 to 2 times weekly is good. Now, if this is somebody that's a runner, man, they're going to be calling you, and that's good. Always make yourself available to them. But on average, check in on your team once or twice weekly. It won't hurt. All right. Make yourself available to your runners, of course, and to your people who are walking. And also, like, you definitely want to match your agent's energy. And when I say that, I really mean that. Even if the agent isn't doing anything, if that agent is clearly not doing anything, clearly not asking any questions, match their energy and don't do anything too. Because if you focus on them and focus on the fact that they're not working, you're going to get mad. And then it's going to throw your energy off. So just match their energy. Work with the people that's working and just keep them moving. And then produce. That's going to help you with the duplication. If you're producing, they'll be producing too. So that's pretty much all what I wanted to discuss in the magnetic leadership session today. I did kind of want to open the floor up for questions and answers, but I think we should do this tomorrow because we have went over an hour accidentally. So I do apologize about that. But what I want everybody to do real quick is jot down in your notes, jot down a question that you want to ask for tomorrow's session. So that way we can just hit the ground running with the Q&A. All right. So if you're good with that, if you feel like you have gotten enough information that's going to help you build momentum for this week, if you're good with the 2 clients, 1 agent a day to hit your goal in the DMO, in the duplication, drop some flames. I want to see, drop some flames. And I'll drop this whole thing in the group chat so that way we can have it. Cool. Everybody's good then. All right. Well, I'm going to end the meeting tomorrow. We're starting fresh with the Q&A session. I am going to be Rejoice, you said you got kicked out. I am going to be uploading the recording real soon, so be on the lookout for that. And then the transcript is going to be shared in the group as well. So I hope everybody has a good day. Definitely invite to the webinar. We have a 9 p.m. training as well. Get your team on the training. Everybody invite to the webinar. All right, talk to y'all later. If y'all have any questions, definitely reach out to me as well.